Hello, everybody, and good evening. I guess I have the book, the Masaru Emoto book. Um, you know, I might have seen Masaru once, but I never met him or interviewed him. But if you see me right here, I'll put my Johnny Cash hat on here. Let's go get Johnny. Um, I saw the incredible the Opry, 100-year Opry in Nashville, the Grand Ole Opry last night, and so they had a tribute to Johnny Cash. So I'm wearing my Johnny Cash hat on today, and it's the morning readings, everybody. I will put my book down here and give you a bell here. So here we go. That's our beautiful bell there, everybody. And I'm really excited to share that with you. And it's the morning readings in the afternoon / evening. Today, I ching the Hidden Masaru book, and it's a portal into a different world. It says here, chapter 2. The hidden messages in water is a magnificent, thorough, through his genius, photography, and superb scientific skills, Dr. Masaru Emoto has created a book that is truly mystical treasure, and his contribution to research in the spiritual consciousness is positively masterful. Okay, and that was Carolyn Mays. So I'll get with it and I'll read to you, and I hope the sound is good today. Sometimes my sound is not so good. There you go. Sometimes my sound is not so good, and I have to redo the show. The portal into a different world. Now, I'd like to ask you to put down this book, pour a glass of water. Don't have a glass of water here. And place it on a table before you. I have a glass of beautiful green drink here, with a beautiful insignia on there that I made. And so place it on the table before you, or if that's not possible, imagine that you have done it. What do you see in the glass? You can see the room that is in that you're in, the scenery from the window, and the overall feeling around and it's all recorded by the water. Water is something so common we seldomly pause to think about it. Although we drink it, wash with it, and cook with it every day, every day of our lives, few people spend much time seriously thinking about water. And we spend much time, but there is probably nothing more mysterious. One of the most mysterious things about water is the simple fact that ice floats in it. When other substances move from the liquid to the solid state, then density of the molecules in the atoms from that solid increase, and the substance becomes relatively heavier. However, the water particles align in a very regulated way, with many large spaces between them. When ice returns to water, the particles become hundreds and thousands of times more active. As the particles become more active, the space fills and making liquid form, water denser and heavier than the solid form. Water is the heaviest at 4 degrees Celsius or 39 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the temperature at which the active water particles fill the empty spaces of the molecular structure. As the temperature increases, the particles become even more active than lowers, which then lowers the density. You get it? So frozen and at 39 degrees Fahrenheit, 4 degrees Celsius, for the reason no matter how cold the temperature is above a lake or such a body of water, the temperature at the bottom remains stable at 4 degrees Celsius. The result is that living creatures of the lake are able to survive such long winters under ice. If water behaved like other substances and ice sank to the bottom, then what would happen? For one thing, we would probably not be here. What? Every time the temperature dropped, the bottoms of the lakes and the oceans would become solid ice, and all living creatures would die. Due to the fact that ice flowers float, it is even this on the surface of the water becomes covered with an ice environment. Below the ice allows life to go on. Water also has a unique ability to dissolve other substances and carry them away. Think about how much matter can be dissolved into water and how difficult it is to return water to its original pure state at semiconductor plants and chemical factories, and special water purifiers are used to secure water that is extremely pure, and as soon as this water is placed in a container made of plastic or most other substances, impurities begin to dissolve. Maintaining water in a completely pure state is extremely difficult. It is not a surprise to learn that even tap water from stream, it surprises you to learn that tap water and water from streams that look perfectly clear contain many impurities and minerals. So don't use bad water. The ability of water to dissolve other substances and create a type of soup of life that supplies the oceans with necessary nutrients that enable life. This soup became the birthplace of all living creatures on earth. Indeed, water is the force that creates and gives life. Without water, particles wouldn't mix together or circulate. The water created chaos on earth, and it is also gave birth to order, resulting in a planet of overflowing with life. You water your plants, and there's life. Oh, yay! It is an ancient belief that where there is water, there is life. In Japan, a place where water rose up from the ground was considered to be a sacred and to have a high energy levels, making the ideal spot for erecting a shrine. Other spots were also designated as sacred because the path of energy they emitted, and such spots were almost inevitably found to be above and underground water. Water is the mother of life while also being the energy for life. This is possible because unique characteristics of water. My investigation into the mystery of water makes me think that water is something not of this earth. Is it an alien? Why do you think there is so much water on this earth? Most explanations say that when Earth was formed some 4.6 billion years ago, water turned to steam, evaporated, and formed rain that fell onto the earth, resulting in the creation of the oceans. But it all started out with the birth of the sun. Lumps of gas came together and started rotating, forming a red ball. The remaining dust and the gases came together and formed the Earth and other planets and solar systems. And at the time, the Earth was still a ball of burning magma, and it contained hydrogen. Magma cooled, the hydrogen evaporated, and into the newly formed atmosphere. It's what we breathe and how we stay grounded. But not all scholars agree with this theory, and some offer radically different alternatives. One such is scholar Louis Frank of University of Iowa, who has proposed that water arrived on this planet in the form of lumps of ice from outer space. Maybe. Professor Frank begins investigation when he became puzzled by the fact that satellite photographs showed black spots. He reached the conclusion that these black spots were small comets that were falling to Earth. These mini comets are actually balls of water, ice weighing about 100 tons or more, and falling into the Earth's atmosphere at a rate of about 20 minutes or 10 million per year. The theory is that these balls of ice bombarded the Earth for 40 billion years ago, creating the seas and oceans, and at the same time the phenomenon continues today. As early as the Earth's gravity pulls these ice comets into the atmosphere, the heat of the sun evaporates them and turns them into gas. As they fall 55 kilometers from space, the gas particles and the air in the atmosphere are blown about, falling to the earth below. A few years ago, announced by NASA, the University of Hawaii, that Dr. Frank's theory does have credibility and are widely publicized by the media, but are still many scientists who refuse to accept this new way of looking at the world. If this new approach were to gain widespread credibility, it would require many of the books in the world, many of the books in this world's libraries to be rewritten. It would have an impact on almost all the scientific theories and related to life on this planet, such as the origin of man and Darwin's theory of evolution. It is universally accepted that there can be no life without water. If we accept that water is the source of all life and was sent from outer space, then the logic leads us to conclusion that all life, included that of human beings, is alien to this planet. But if we go along with the theory that water is being extraterrestrial, then perhaps we can better understand the many unusual characteristics of water. Why does water float? Why is water able to dissolve so much? Why is a towel able to soak up water seemingly in defiance of the law of gravity? From the standpoint that water is not of this world, these and other mysteries surrounding water may seem a little less difficult to understand. Water from outer space? Whoa. It might seem a little too far-fetched, but doesn't it also tickle your imagination? After water has complemented its long journey through the cosmos, it begins the next phase of travel on our planet. So what I believe is a lot of people think that some planets have water and some planets don't. So that's wild, okay? The lumps of ice arrive on Earth, and then they become clouds and eventually fall to Earth as rain or snow. The water then washes mountains, seeps into the ground, becoming rich in minerals, and then rises to the surface again. Are waters turn into crystals? Maybe, because I think Dr. Emoto is going to tell you water has memory. So from rivers to oceans to evaporators, water returns to its atmosphere once again from clouds to again form clouds. This water and minerals carries through the cycle that we make life possible, or what make life possible. The carbon dioxide, the atmosphere melts into the oceans and enables photosynthesis, creating a perfectly balanced ecological system. The ocean is where the first speck of life emerged some 3.8 billion years ago. Some people have that kind of money. The speck evolved into an algae capable of photosynthesis, resulting in the first supply of oxygen. This oxygen, interacting with ultraviolet rays from the sun, caused the Earth in a protected valve called the ozone layer. Then, some 40 420 million years ago, 420, life took its first step out of water and freed itself from the depths of the ocean to help the oxygen and the ozone layer. And then they made cars. The birth of the humanoid parents is believed to have taken place 20 million years ago in Africa. If we consider its Earth's 4.6 billion year history as constituting the 1 year human beings was born at 8 o'clock in the evening, and on the final day, all made possible by the formation of oxygen and the ozone layer, and the force that was created, life allowed life to evolve. And it was, of course, water. Man and woman were born. Water was able to do this because it has a unique ability to dissolve the required nutrients of life and carry them from the mountains and rivers to the oceans. I feel that my research can be used in the fields of health and medical care. These are not much interest of the importance of the physical characteristics of water. For example, it is said that mineral water is good for you, but there are few people who know that minerals of mineral water can cause hardening of the arteries, and also mineral water that is carbonated has high acidity, making it unhealthy for the body. In any case, we need to avoid water that comes in a bottle and replace it with naturally flowing water, water that wants to be free. Natural spring water, forget the bottled water, everybody. These words are a result of many years I spent observing water. It's extremely encouraging to have such an accomplished scientist express interest in my research into crystals out of respect of water. And finally, Joan gave me the following advice. If you are able to establish a physical foundations for your theories concerning ice crystals, you will be able to make an announcement to the world as a very convincing research here. This was indeed encouraging to me at the time. I was planning to establish the center in Switzerland to promote my research. The way to decipher this information through the observation of ice crystals. When I see many beautiful crystals form from water, I get the feeling that I'm looking at the materialization of life before my eyes. These crystals are formed when water is shown positive words, simply beautiful. The response to water, love and gratitude, is nothing less than grandeur. The positive words give spirit to water, which materialize to reveal life at its fullest. I also have the impression that the act of looking at water crystals, the act of creating life, this because when I look at crystals and the water changes appearance moment by moment, you gave it the special energy of its own, and good intentions will give courage, and an evil gaze will actually take it away. An evil gaze will actually take the joy of the beautiful crystals away. A family that is subscribed to our magazine conducted the interesting experiment. They put rice in 2 glasses of jars every day for a month and said thank you to one jar and you fool to the other jar. Then they tracked how the rice changed over the period. Even the children, when they got home from school, would speak these words to the jar of rice. And after a month, that rice was told thank you, started to ferment and mellow and smell like that of malt, while the rice that was exposed to you fool rotted and turned black. I wrote this experiment in a book that I published. Hundreds of families throughout Japan conducted the same experiment. Everyone reported the same results. What do you think happened? The rice that was ignored actually rotted before the rice that was exposed to you fool. When others tried this, the same experiment, the results were the same again. To give your positive or negative attention to some things in the way of energy, the most damaging form of behavior is withholding your attention. Don't do that to me. I think that this experiment has the potential to teach us very important lessons. We must take care to give our children attention. Give me some attention, everybody. Speaking the words of kindness, love should be the form, the time of conception, from the time of conception. Treating your houseplants gently, looking upon them kindly, and speaking the words of praise will help to make them healthy and alive. This also applies to pets and even insects. Throughout this book, I hope many more people will gain the respect for water and look at water in a kinder way. The result that water will produce more beautiful crystals this way, and participating in the creation of a small but beautiful world. Dr. Emoto rocks. Yeah, hang on. The memory of life arrived on this earth carried by the soul of water. From the memory of life awoke the human being, emerged, and finally you and I were born. And once again we look at water and breathe into it, life into it. You breathe life into your water. And your consciousness, awareness, and goodwill, and your smile from a feeling of love all give new life to water and result in the creation of a new and glorious universe. Dr. Emoto rocks. Love you, Dr. Emoto. So that's what I learned. And then for years, I put the flower of life, this is the marijuana plant, but I did the flower of life on all my jars. I made a glass straw. I invented a top with a hole in it. Well, for me, I might not have been the first one to put a hole in a straw and put it on a ball jar, but for years I did that. And so it's some morning readings in the afternoon, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen here, and I hope the sound came out good. I ain't reading that again, but I'll give you some freedom of the hair. Love you all. And it's been a pleasure being with you today. And every day that I have consciousness to read a new book. Tomorrow's book is going to be cool. I'm going to read from this book here. Okay, so there you go. Check it out. Check it in. See you in Colorado.